Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Five of Stones and Endurance. And, when I was thinking about and meditating on this card today, one of the things that really caught my eye is the way that the smoke is swirling, and it's just like the swirling of the night of vessels in the eel, right? And, it kind of got me thinking about how I talked about with that Night of Eels where everything's roller coaster right now. It's up and down, left and right. Your emotions and your mental capacity, your thought process is all over the place. And, one of the things that I really liked about this card as it came out today was it gives you an opportunity to sit back and think about what's transpired. Here, everything's been going good, right? You relied back on that skill set. You're being responsible. You've done some inner healing with the Seven of Stones. And then, the Two of Vessels comes out, and there's some attraction, right? You're attracting these good thoughts. You're attracting these good vibes. You're attracting, great things coming at you. And that Five of Vessels, got you to a point where it's almost like you were at the apex of those great things. And you're dancing, you're having a good time, and then the next day you just woke up and, maybe you had a headache or you're sore from dancing, from not, doing it often enough. And you have that five of arrows down there. And as you're walking along your path, the Knight of Vessels comes up, puts his arm around you and says, hey, you've got this, relax. Let's take some chance, an opportunity to sit back and reflect on what's going on. And as you do, you realize that the Five of Vessels and the Five of Arrows and the Five of Pentacles have all shown up. And when you see more and more of I call these the pip cards, but especially the fives. Fives are all about challenges, okay? Fives are all about, a little bit of obstacles and stuff like this. But in this card, the obstacle that's before you is the storm that's coming. But you're smart enough, A, to find shelter, which is where the stones are at, okay, because there's five of those there. B, you're smart enough to create a fire, okay, so you've got the protection, you've got the activity piece of it, okay, and, you're sitting there going, all right, I'm just going to sit here and wait out the storm, which is smart thinking, okay, and because the storm is coming, you're not flustered. You knew exactly what to do, when to do it, where to find shelter, all right, and go for it. So, to survive those challenges, you need to be, think sharply. It takes strength and courage, to do that as well, to be protected. And you've taken the opportunity right now to focus on the issues at hand, which is being protected, make sure you have a fire, and doing so in a manner that's calm and collected. Okay, so even though the fives are all about, the challenge, that Knight of Vessels is sitting there going, you've done well, right? This is a good challenge to have, because you could have fought this or you could have negotiated it, all right? And you negotiated this well, okay? And, the Five of Vessels, or the Knight of Vessels also says, where are your emotions running high? In this card, your emotions aren't running high because you're protecting yourself. You already went through that thought process. Hey, there's a storm approaching. This is what I got to do. And then he also asks, is what needs to be expressed sensitively? Well, you look, as the quest person, working on your spiritual path, you look at that Knight of Vessels and say, you know what? I'm smarter than that when it comes to being protected. Okay, I'm smarter than that when it's I'm enduring things, right? And, you look at him and you say, endurance and spirit are the qualities a spiritual warrior must possess. And he looks at you and he says, absolutely correct. So here you have those qualities of a spiritual warrior, the endurance and spirit, the desire, the willpower, all right, to take on those challenges. Okay, in doing so, you have a sense of humor. And, the Knight of Vessels just looks at you and just kind of laughs. And he says, I am like a fish out of water, but I'm here to help you on your quest. And you know what? I'm going to protect you because if you can see the sword and the stone, on that, you know, he's there to also protect you on what's going on. So not only do you have physical protection, spiritual protection, you also have elemental protection with the Five of Stones. So having that sense of humor on both sides, you and the King of, you know, the Knight of Vessels, that helps you maintain that strong mind, okay? And it's important to your mental health. And, you know, here, you know, when we came out of the World Tree, we've been working on that inner strength and that inner fortitude. And this is just another piece of that. So that just tells me that, you know, as we're healing and as we're moving forward, we're not done internally yet, okay? And, you know, with the Five of Vessels and the Five of Arrows and now the Five of Pentacles down here, or stones, you know, that's just, it's a greater urgency to work on on ourselves, okay? Both mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, you know, however you want to look at it. Tomorrow's another day, you know, and that's going to be filled with opportunity. So stay protected tonight, you know, or today, you know, whenever you look at this, and know that, you know, you are enduring the challenges that are coming up, both physically and being protected from spirit, you know, on all the other levels of spirit. So, you know, that's today's card of the day, the Five of Stones and Endurance. Hit that like button for me. Check out my stand store if you'd like a reading. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. And this is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.